나무 큰축숨당 사회숨 캡니 남라 캡수치 조큰 상계 라처칙 잠축소투 케와두 큰축숨당 사회숨 캡니 남라 캡수치 조큰 상계 라처칠 장축축투셈 기두 축숨당 사회숨 캡니 남라 캡수치 조큰 상계 라처칠 장축축투셈 기두 카닥롱니 투파이 남세 강외 초페트렌 민다 gelsi lamochi seme girchi paktuho jokun dedak nandral dele nammi taknamshak sobaha shuda sawa dharma sobaha shudaham tongpani dugir tongpani nang ne tongsum dinak da duki podrong dukir penang duseng geche pede sosu pengdu rangni dengdu keki so sabun hong ching gale mena kudok benduria taba user trowa kunge chen chogu sumgi la lupa chakye chokjen aruradang yunam zaklung jedenpa sepe zokshin dorje kiltruk gijukpa kepa dudun keke dapa namla tukwang lasok pesang gedundang choputi degam sangpe chujuk degyap jente kongwa chudang depun chenpo chuni susu kordang chepe gujing lap gyalpo chenpo jidang chepe nesum yigu gesum dakte kelung ledre tur pe shache shachok kesange susu kekamni yishe pakpa tume pechen drakni draktun namla tempargur hung menla chege lasok malupa nerder chedren jinchin waptuso kaden dedeng daklang wachokur luktrin seyi barche salduso namo maha bekenze sarpawase benza samaya za benza samaya triktinlin hung tram hri abi kenza hung metok duk poma mere zakje roma lasokpa Zotra jero rakjechu daki lala chupabu dakchak sokni zokpashok argam hupeyam hupte dupte aloke gende niwede shapte rupta shapta gende rasa saprashawai patrasata hung trasi sowo zegidi sokcho gelpo yungkur sok daki lala chupabu sokni yangsu zokpashok mengalam arta city hung trasi sowo takede sokchok gelpo bumpasok daki lala chupabu senshin sokni zokpashok mengalam kumba hung du yun sawa rinchindu sochok gelpo norbusok daki lala chupabu dakni sokni zopashok mani retna hung kungi sowo rirabling jiling trenche daki lala chupabu sokni yongsu zopashok rena mandala hung daki dredren dri chapki dedak kula kutruso lala drima mingayang dikdrip takpe tendrelgi sparwa tatagata abhikante samaya shri hung rike chandri dinpei gawe kunne chewagi lala drime mingayang drupnau drawa tendrelgi kaya Bishodarhanti hung naza ze de Nurmikti, Yahweh Kula Sokwargi, Kula Sewa Minayang, Chokdang Pelwe Chendelgi, Om Benza Rafna A Hung Hung Kudopedur, Yayi Rododra, Drowa Semchen Niki Drukdelsen, Jangchuk Sempagi, Kikor, Rinchen Menza Lala Chakseltu, Tsele Rinza Zerjang Name, Chodak Yamso Chola Shakatup, Dampe Chodang Sempachu Druksok, Kunchok Rinchen Sumla Chakseltu, Sadang Gyalchen Chokyu Nojin Depun Chuni Yokdangchi, Lame Mingi Raksin Jongsang Chi, Dutsi Mingi Lala Chaksel Tu. Daktun Kekar Humla Chakchil Gikurwa Kir Teata Om Bekanzi Maha Bekanzi Raza Samogati Soha. Diktung Kesha Gewa Jangchuk Ngo, Dedung Druknel Dawe Tashi Shok, Jitin Panam Rangni Mu, Yishi Damsik La Nam Dakla Tim, Kada Kunsang Lamde Emaho. So even though you don't need a reading transmission to do this practice, it's a little bit more powerful if you have it. I've been given permission to do it, but it's not something I actually feel very qualified to do, even though they keep insisting that I am. So I actually prefer that you try and get this from someone far more qualified than me. So either from the Khenpos or from Tukudamcho or Rinpoche or any other highly qualified being. Okay? So I apologize, my Sanskrit is not so great. Okay, so when we're doing this particular practice, what we're doing is we're actually entering to Sangye Menla's mandala. So this is Sangye Menla's house. So he lives in the farthest Buddhist field away from everyone else. He lives very far. So they say, like, if there's one little tiny grain of sand in the Ganga River, he lives like, a million times farther than that. So we're actually calling Sangye Menla and we're asking him to come with his entire retinue. So we can begin very simply by simply visualizing light. So I'll explain that a little bit later. Or as we progress in this practice, you can actually build the whole mandala. And yes, the answer is this is very significant for Tibetan medicine. So we have all of the hot substances and plants at the top with the sun, and then we have all the cold substances here with the moon, and then we have all of our Terminella, Tubula, all of our Arura forests over here, and we have our healing hot springs and our 5 types of Chongsi and so on and so forth. So everything that's within this mandala is very important. And then, as I said in my talk, one of my talks in India at the international conference, is that Medicine Buddha, when he gave this teaching, he was surrounded by 4 groups. So he was surrounded by gods and sages and Buddhists and non-Buddhists. And so at that point, these people had all gathered to hear what he had to say. But nobody, even these gods, were too afraid to ask him. They were too shy. So what he did was he created an emanation. And that emanation created a conversation between his mind emanation and his speech emanation. So that conversation is literally the entire premise of Tibetan medicine. And so they literally, he literally emanated out from his mind, and then out through the speech aspect, and they had a conversation. So it was through the power of the lineage, so through the power of the transmission, similar to what I just gave to you, that particular lineage, to have that transmission, to receive a full empowerment of the Medicine Buddha is the most genuine and correct way to receive the blessing of that lineage. But through the power of that conversation and that lineage, everyone could understand the teachings in their own language, which is simply to say that this is not bound by race or class or religion. So this teaching particularly supersedes all of that. It penetrates all of those normal barriers that we would have in order to benefit all beings and in order to sort of help bring healing to all benefits. So that's really important to notice about this particular tanka. So when we invite Sangye Menla, we can actually imagine that we're entering into this mandala and that we're there and that we're receiving these teachings from Sangye Menla himself. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that if you call him, he will come and he will help you. I have many instances where I've seen that to be so. So we supplicate the Medicine Buddha, and you can even just have like, so this is the four tantras here. So I have a small four tantras, and then you can have like a little statue, or you can just take this card and just have the card. So anything works, but you can also do all of this in your mind. So when I was in Bodh Gaya, for example, I carried my pecha with me, but I didn't have any of these offerings, so I just had to offer it with my mind. So that's also very fine to do. So we take refuge. We take refuge in the three jewels, and we're doing this with the genuine motivation to establish all beings into Buddhahood, and that we're having a motivation that not only do we want to awaken for our own self, but we want to awaken so that we can help all other beings. So we go for refuge. And so I would like you all to just take a moment to imagine going for refuge, saying, I go for refuge to the three jewels, to the roots of the refuge, in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood. I'm generating a mind of supreme awakening. And that's the first part, if you have the text in front of you, on your page 6. Okay? So let's do that 3 times together in Tibetan. Namo Kunchuk Sundam Sawe Sum Kapne Nilam Kapsuchi Drakun Sangye Lagyochir Jamchuk Shotu Senki Do. And then in English, to the source of refuge, the three jewels and the three roots, I go for refuge. To establish all beings in Buddhahood, I awaken the mind of supreme enlightenment. I go for refuge to the three jewels and the three roots, the source of refuge, in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood and generate a mind of supreme awakening. And then from this vast space, from emptiness, we imagine the arisal of Menla's palace. And we imagine that this palace is actually forming in front of us. Everything becomes empty of nature. And we're imagining that we're calling the Medicine Buddha, and we can actually imagine this palace with all of these plants and all these beautiful things. If that's very difficult to do, we just imagine the perfectly pure Medicine Buddha, blue in color. He's holding a transparent light. So oftentimes people mistranslate Bindurya as lapis. That's actually an incorrect translation. What it is actually star sapphire. And if you can imagine the way a star sapphire kind of glimmers and sends its light out, like it kind of has this little catchy little light that it just kind of shimmers and shines out. That's literally what Bindurya means. And he's sitting there and he's holding in the mudra of supreme generosity the aurora plant. So the aurora plant is a particular special plant which has all 6 tastes. So in Tibetan medicine we say that we have 6 tastes. They do this sort of elaborate thing. within our body. So the fact that it has 6 tastes in entirety makes it perfect. It neither disturbs or fluctuates any of the elements in the body. It's completely sort of neutral and pure. And he holds this plant in the supreme mudra of generosity. And then in his left hand he has a begging bowl which is full of healing nectar, and sometimes you'll see it also where he has an aurora plant inside there as well. And so we're imagining that we are perfectly pure and clean, and that we are in front generation stage. So what that means is that we're actually generating this whole palace, and we're inviting Sangye Menla to this healing party, and we're inviting him to come from his palace to in front of us. And so we imagine Sangye Menla, perfectly pure, blue in color, holding the mudra of supreme generosity in front of you. And you can see him